or not to
Look
date
like
someone.
Jabari want to say something.
I'm glad my wife ain't a musician because from a singer first, then musician. We could be riding in the car and she could be just getting happy into a song, and I'm looking at her like, that note, you got, and if she's sung in the choir, and I just know me, I will probably like be like, baby, you singing it wrong, and then going back to coming home, and then, yo, why did you call me out in front of? Yeah, no,
Yeah. Well,
uh,
that kind of happened to what me and Janae, of course I directed the choir and she would get in it and I'm just being myself,
Yeah.
I- clap your darn hands. That darn thing down and clap your darn hands. You know what I'm saying? So it happens, right? But I don't think it's necessary for a music. I don't think a musician has to date a musician for them to have a great relationship.
no,
I,
Yeah.
I mean, my wife, she's not a musician. She's an educator. She's a researcher. She's a all that stuff. She's an associate dean. So we don't share the same. Uh, where our careers are almost the
Yeah.
same
yeah,
Yeah.
education, yeah,
because I'm still in education. We're still in education, but
Yeah.
even in that, we're at different levels of education, right? She's at higher education. I'm in K-12 public school setting, you know.
Mhm.
But when it comes to the music part of it, she's not musical. She's not musical, and so. I can remember times where she was in the choir and
finger flat.
and y'all know me, y'all know like sing it right or sit down, right? Or
Yeah.
and clap when I tell you to clap. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the director, the choir master of me. But
Mhm.
like, yeah, so like I don't think you have to be in a relationship with the same kind of person. And actually, I think it would get boring if you ask me.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
just, it's
Yeah.
just my thought. I think it would get boring because y'all doing the same thing. There's nothing fresh, nothing new.
And sometimes music is your outlet. I know for me. So I won't want to go to
Yeah.
practice, see my wife in practice, and come back home, see her at home, then go to work and then come back home. No, nope,
Mhm.
nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I don't know. I mean, like Lulu, Jaleesa, um, do y'all feel like y'all have to? And uh,
No,
I do
no,
certainly not.
no.
okay.
And
What
that's
about you,
just
Rashida? No, she shook her head.
She said no.
Rashida, no.
and I,
You,
and I will say this, okay? Based off what I've seen, it's not like I would be opposed to it,
right.
but like I said, it's all about a heart posture thing. If I know I'm doing this is ministry, I'm going in for ministry to glorify God for the edification of God, and the other person is going for self gratification and self glorification. That's not where my heart is, and I wouldn't want to be with someone that's presenting themselves as such. And a lot of other people are not comfortable with being transparent from the jump, and that's where I feel like a lot of people will, they will get in a relationship and not know who that person is because you're not transparent from the beginning. So
Mm,
when you go into something not knowing who this person is and what their intentions are, it just kind of it's a rocky start. So that's all I have to say about that. But yeah, definitely not opposed to it, but being very intentional about who it is I have in that type of space.
Okay. What do you think about that, Jaleesa?
I totally agree. And to piggyback off of Tevis, and Jabbar, it's music is my getaway. So to do the same thing over, or like we have the same interest or the same thing in common, it get boring. And
Mhm.
so me personally, like, let me go off and let me have this to myself for a little bit, you know.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
so yeah, it's totally different.
And
Okay.
then, because what could potentially happen is jealousy. In my opinion, jealousy could
Yes,
creep up, right?
it
Like,
Mhm.
does.
who's the better singer? Who's the better
Yeah.
insecurity and all that stuff could
Mm-hmm.
sneak up and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
so, but, and then the other thing I was thinking about, and Tony, you may can talk about this too. Like, if you are like you have to have things to do. You and your wife or the person you're in a relationship with, they gotta have their own life. You gotta have your own thing
Yeah.
going on, because if you don't have your own thing going on, then what happens is you expect me to fill your void.
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense.
Oh yeah.
No, that makes 100% sense. But that's why, there are things, like I like to call them non-negotiables when you're dating, right? There are
Mhm.
things that really make you you, and those should not be sacrificed in the dating process on the way to the altar to get married, right?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Those are the things that, if you are intentional about your scheduling, if you're intentional about your rhythm, I've seen both sides of losing track of those, right? And I've seen like the potential damage that it can do when you abandon. Yeah, the two shall become one, but everything should not be abandoned. If it is something that helps you show up in life the way that you need to, then that's one of the non-negotiable things that has to stay sacred. So if I was doing this when you met me and it made you fall in love with me, why are you asking for me to sacrifice it?
That makes sense. And I like what you said. The two should become one. But one of the things um, G used to say is, which one? Like, which one do you become? So you got to do you, and you got to do you, and together we come and we do, this thing together. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, like, I agree with that, Tony.
What was the last question? It was we got like
10 minutes.
four, we got 10 minutes left.
That's what it say.
Okay.
The last question was, how has your relationship impacted you and your career in said industry? That's it. And that's for the married folk.
It can be for the single folk too. Y'all know
Say
y'all
that.
got.
Say that one more time. Say that. Say that one more time. Say that one more time. Say the question one more time.
How has your relationships, that doesn't have to be like intimate, I would say any relationships, right?
Mhm.
Impacted you and your career in the music industry as a singer or as a musician.
Mhm.
But I would say my relationships, especially having friends like y'all and family
Oh
like
yeah.
y'all and all that stuff, that has greatly impacted me, and
Oh yeah.
it has made me better. It has made me better because in my mind, I have to show up
Mhm.
for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to be ready to be all that I can be. Um, um,